Hello. I hope people are doing well today. This Saturday, the 25th of June. I almost forgot the month for a second. Yeah, we're in June still. But I hope everybody's doing well today. It's actually pretty late in the evening for me right now. But I'm not sure what time it is for everybody out there in chat. Maybe it's in the middle of the day or maybe it's early in the morning. But regardless of what time it is for you right now, I hope you're truly doing well today, because it's the weekend. It's time to relax a little bit and sort of rest a bit from our troubles of the weekly grind. But how's everybody doing? I'm doing well today. Thank you for the follows. We got a trio of follows. And I want to thank them for following Not RJ, Chelovek, and Bergici. Thank you so much for the follows, guys. I really appreciate it. And JP, how are you doing today, my friend? How are you today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. I'm not sure what kind of plans you've got for this weekend, but I hope that whatever you've got planned, things are nice, chill, and comfy. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Just chill. That's good to hear, my friend. That's really good to hear. So, as you can sort of tell, as you can sort of notice, I'm kind of wearing like a wizard's hat today. And thank you for noticing, JP. Yeah, nice hat. And the reason is because I had planned, or I want to play Lego Lord of the Rings today. So I did mention it. I mentioned it in my Guild Wars stream a couple of days ago, where I said, oh yeah, and tomorrow I want to play Lord of the Rings. Shive, thank you for the big raid. Thank you. Welcome, Raiders. How is everybody this evening? My name is Toru, and I am a turtle VTuber. So, we're going to be chatting for a little bit and then playing a little bit of Lego Lord of the Rings. So I hope you guys are interested in a little bit of that. We'll go ahead and, shout out our good friend Shive. And Shive, I was in your chat for a little bit earlier today. So, just to give a little context, Twitch will say, Shive was chatting, just chatting. But I know for a fact what Shive was doing. Shive is the official Linus Tech Tips VTuber. So if you need like an expert on PCs or anything along those lines, please ask Shive. No, but for real though, Shive, how did building the PC go? Please tell us all about it. Well, what has been going on? Alturian, welcome to the stream. How are you doing, Alturian? I think I've seen you around before. Not just in Shive's stream, but I think in Aster's stream as well. But how are you doing, Alturian? Welcome to my stream. Hopefully you're having a lovely day or evening right now. And welcome, Huju. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I was struggling, says Shive. Well, I mean, it's to be expected. It's to be expected. The reason is obviously because if you're building a computer for the first time, there's a lot going on in there that you're not really familiar with. So 100%, you would, it's understandable that you would struggle because, and this is one thing that I noticed, that when you watch like a lot of guides on YouTube, personally, I like to watch guides that show you everything step by step. And then, you can physically see it, because a lot of guides will rattle off specs, they'll rattle off this, they'll rattle off that. But for someone who's not particularly familiar with computer parts or specs or anything like that, all of that terminology just goes over your head, and it can be very overwhelming if you're trying to do it by yourself for the first time. I've placed the CPU, cooler, SSD, and graphics card on for now. That's actually pretty good. Because those are like sort of like central components, because it's everything that like connects to the motherboard, and then with the RAM as well. And then so once everything is set up there, then you can connect the power connectors and the power supply after that, and then you can start testing from there. But the fact that you got the core of the system all together, at least you have a foundation to work from. And if you still want to keep doing it on stream, that'd actually be very entertaining to watch. But if you want to spend some time in doing it on your own, then that's fine too. Kenny, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? How are you doing today? Hopefully you're doing well, and I hope everybody in chat is doing well today. Again, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for the raid, Shife, and we did a shout out Shife just a little bit earlier, so please do check out her content. She plays, a lot of these like a variety of games. I want to say like 2D games. I want to say like kind of like 2D games. I've seen stuff like Pyre. I think I remember seeing like Death's Door. So games like that. And definitely, now especially some building PC troubles. So that'll be tomorrow morning stream apparently. So everybody in chat, just go ahead and look out for that. How hard can it be, says JP? Just press the parts into the motherboard connectors. I'm like 99% certain that you had your family build you a computer, JP. I'm like, I remember you've brought this up on stream before, where you talked about how you had someone else build it for you. So I am. So wait, hold on. Do I have a proper emotion for this? I am not gonna tolerate you, talking all of this smack when I know I don't even know for a fact, but I'm fairly certain that you went ahead and got someone to help you with building your computer, JP. So no, I'm not going to tolerate that here. I'm just joking. Yeah, 2D and 2.5D games, yes. But is that still going to be the case, Shife? Is that still going to be the case once you once you finish the new computer? You finish the, you stop streaming on the laptop and then you start on the new computer. And then what happens is that you're going to like play all of these like super realistic looking games, with these amazing graphics and all of that stuff. So, you might become like a Star Citizen streamer, or like a Red Dead Redemption 2 streamer, or, just like what are the most like demanding games out there? I'm pretty sure that's in the future for you, Shife. I'm just joking. I'm just kidding, obviously. Just joking. Yeah, of course, always got help, but I've taken apart PC with water cooling back in the day to troubleshoot and fix some stuff. Yeah, water cooling can be kind of annoying if you have like a custom loop. So I say all this about computer parts because I personally have a fairly big interest in computer parts and all of that kind of thing. I think I have talked about tech before, and I think I have done some tech related streams in the past. And so I do know, because I have taken apart and I have put together water-cooled systems, like custom loop systems, not just, because right now what's in vogue is you can get like the AIO liquid cooler. So it's like a pre-made sort of, all-in-one loop, right? And then, you connect that to your computer and everything like that. But the custom loop stuff where you physically build out a water cooling system can be pretty annoying. And I remember my experiences from quite a while ago, because as a turtle, we're very predisposed to stepping, to dipping ourselves into the water. So water cooling for my computer at the time, seemed like a natural choice since I am a turtle. There's a lot of water where I am, let's just say, but it was actually quite a hassle. So if anybody is out there, doing these, custom water cooling systems, there are benefits to it, but for me personally, there's probably too much hassle involved for what you get out of it. So I don't really recommend it unless you really know what you're doing and it's like a hobby thing, right? We'll see indeed, Shaf. I'm waiting expectantly for the 4K resolution, super high definition streams that are surely on the way. Civ 5 streamer, says JP. Isn't Civ 5 outdated by now, JP? I think that you could probably play like Civ 6 right now, and that would be more up to date, right? That would be more up to date. I think Civ 6 would be more up to date than Civ 5. You talk about cutting edge. We're talking about new computers, and you want to come out here and play a game that is already, that's already 12 years old approximately. I think I'm looking at it now on Google. You know, Civ 5 came out on September 21, 2010. So you want to play a game that's almost 12 years old, JP, when you could play the latest and greatest, you know, on a new computer? I think not. Civ 6 is worse, though. I mean, I mean, it might be, but, you know, we're talking about graphics here, my friend. We're talking about graphics, not the quality of the game. That won't happen, says Shive. 1080p forever. It's funny, right? Because of all of this, there's a lot of media press. There's a lot of media press about, like, oh my god, you can get like 4K TVs, or you can get 4K monitors. And I know that one of the selling points of the latest, you know, the NVIDIA graphics cards, the 3000 series, was the idea that you can play 8K. You know, if we go to our good friend, hold on, let me see if I can find it, because I remember there was specifically an NVIDIA sponsored stream where they discussed the possibility of playing 8K gaming, right? We go 8K gaming. Let's see if I can find it. Hold on a second. Let's put window capture and I'll put it up here for everybody. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege.
Honor of being loud. The first outside of it.
Wait, hold on. Sponsored by NVIDIA, and then, you know, they're trying to promote the fact that their graphics cards can, you know, play games in 8K. So this is essentially the idea. This is a sponsored video from NVIDIA saying that, oh my god, our graphics cards can play in 8K resolution. But if we actually take a look at Steam, if you take a look at the Steam hardware survey, then the majority of people are still playing on 1080p. So when you say, you know, 1080p for life, that's definitely very understandable. You know, we already know for a fact that the overwhelming majority of people who game still do so on 1080p. And, you know, this idea of 4K, let alone 8K, is kind of just like, I wouldn't say it's a myth, but it's something that's pushed by hardware companies specifically because they want to, you know, shill this high-level hardware on you and, you know, get you to spend your money. But if we're looking at things, you know, from a realistic sense, if we're looking at things, you know, how it is supposed to be, then, you know, most people still play on 1080p, and a smaller, you know, amount will play on 1440p. All right, gotta go. Guild Wars 2 Strike CM. See you later. No worries, Chef. No worries. Thank you for coming by and thank you for the raid. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good luck on the strike. I know that, you know, the strikes, especially the new ones, can be kind of difficult. But, you know, I wish you and your team the best of luck. So, for a little bit of context, you know, Guild Wars 2, obviously, we're talking about the MMO. The strikes are, you know, new 10-man type of content. And, you know, they've released new challenge modes for the strikes. And this allows you to access, you know, greater rewards and that kind of thing. But you know, it's supposed to be challenging. It's supposed to be difficult to get through. And, you know, there are a lot of teams, there are a lot of groups out there that are working together and working hard and trying to progress and trying to, you know, get themselves over the line. And Shife is one of them. So we wish her the very best of luck. And well, thank you for coming along, saying hello, and especially for the raid. So thank you so much, Shife. Good luck with your strikes. So actually, you know, what I wanted to do today, because I talked about it on Thursday, how I wanted to stream Lego Lord of the Rings today, or how I wanted to stream Lego Lord of the Rings, and that was supposedly going to happen yesterday, but it didn't happen just because, you know, just because, you know, things get hectic. Things get hectic at Turtle Corp. Sometimes, you know, you're a little bit lacking in energy, and, you know, you don't have the capacity to stream. And so, you know, I sort of like moved it to today, and so I can go ahead and, you know, stream today. And one of the reasons why I wanted to stream today specifically is because I hadn't streamed for a while on the weekend, and it's something that, you know, I need to sort of like get myself back into. But it was sort of like extra difficult over the last couple of days. to get myself to stream. Not just because of outside things, but because of internal things as well. Because the one thing that I did want to talk about today, and it's so weird because it's got nothing to do with Lord of the Rings. It's got nothing to do with Lego. It's actually got nothing to do with VTubing at all. But there's been like VODs and stuff that I've been trying to catch up on, and it has to do with Pokemon actually. So I don't know if people are familiar, but I have a great interest in competitive Pokemon, and I don't necessarily show it off a whole lot on stream. Like there are occasions when I do stream, like competitive laddering and things like that, but those streams tend to be far and few between. I'm like a if this makes sense, I hope it does. I am a casual competitive Pokemon enjoyer. Like, I know that doesn't make sense, but that's how I feel. I like the scene, I'm interested in the scene, but it's not something that I dedicate like a whole lot into. I know that there are some streamers out there that only stream Pokemon, that only, play Pokemon as their content, and that's never going to be me. I'm like a variety streamer. I'm a VTuber. I know that a lot of people, when they start out streaming, they tend to focus on the one game that they really enjoy, the one game that they're really good at. And I feel like for VTubers, it's sort of iffy, because there are some VTubers that are like that, but a lot of VTubers come into the scene like trying to stream basically as much as they can. They're like variety streamers from the get-go, when it can be difficult to sort of like build an audience and build consistency, let's just say, doing that kind of thing. And for me personally, I've definitely had a few problems with consistency here and there over the journey. But anyway, what I wanted to get to was that I've actually been fairly interested in Pokemon competitively, and as of right now, there's a big tournament going on. One of my friends actually went and is attending the tournament right now. I don't know how well she's going, or if she's competing even, but I know that she did go to the tournament, to meet people, to meet friends, and that sort of thing. And we wish her the best of luck if she is competing. But I do know that yesterday they had like the Swiss rounds, right? So they had the opening rounds of the tournament, and it's so difficult because like I spent the majority, and this is bad to admit maybe, but I spent the majority of today sort of just like watching over yesterday's VOD. And so if we take a look here, and this is something that Swiss rounds, yes. So what happens, JP, is that you have like what's called the Swiss rounds. And what that is just, it's basically like a laddering bracket. So, you compete with a whole bunch of people, and then after a predetermined amount of rounds, the people with the highest win-loss records then get to do what is quote-unquote top cutting. And what that means is that they move on to the next part of the competition, where the competition will be set up in an elimination structure, right? So you have the Swiss rounds, and then you have top cut. And so, Swiss rounds is that you face other people for a certain amount of rounds, and then the people with the best records go into the next stage of the tournament. And so, the Swiss rounds for this tournament occurred yesterday. And if we take a look there, 11 hours. It's an 11-hour video. And trust me, we're not going to do an 11-hour watch-along of a Pokemon tournament right now, but I do find it very, very interesting, because this is a game I personally like. This is a game that I'm personally into, but I do know that, the idea that there is such thing as official Pokemon tournaments, there's official Pokemon, competitions, for such a big franchise, this kind of awareness is basically zero, right? If you're not in the Pokemon scene, let's just say, or if you're not interested in the scene, it's very confronting, because we see all of this discussion about Pokemon online, like VTubers especially, right? Every freaking VTuber is like really into Pokemon. Maybe it's the weeb thing, but it's like I don't think I've met a VTuber that straight out dislikes Pokemon. You can say, oh, I don't like the current games or whatever, but everybody has a favorite generation, everybody has a favorite starter, everybody has a favorite Pokemon. Pokemon. You know, everybody likes Pokemon to some extent. But if you ask people, you know, if they're familiar with the Pokemon competitive scene, very few will actually realize that there is official tournaments. You know, most people at most say, oh, you know, I know the Smogon rules, you know, singles and that kind of thing, like OU, right? People tend to know about OU and the tiering, but those are all community made. What they don't know, or what a lot of people don't know, is that there's an official tournament structure and competitive ecosystem for Pokemon battling. It's, you know, it's versed in doubles, but what's really cool is that, you know, it's not just, you know, it's not just two dudes, you know, just like, you know, it's not just two dudes on a table or whatever. You know, this is fully supported by the Pokemon company. There are referees, there are commentators, you know, they rent out, you know, exhibition buildings, there's stalls. It's a full tournament environment, and it's probably very, very difficult for someone like me as a VTuber, you know. I live online, guys. I'm terminally online, like many other VTubers. So it's going to be difficult for me to do something like this, but I would just love to go to an in-person Pokemon tournament, because if we, I'll go through a little bit, right? But it's done like an official broadcast. It's done like a proper broadcast. It's not, I mean, it's not the most well-funded thing out there, but it's official, right? And I find that to be really cool. So if we just go to like a random point, okay, so
like
let's just go
a giveaway.
here.
We've got a giveaway,
like,
so maybe you
cool.
want to go ahead and boot up your
Switch
Switch or your Pokemon Sword and Shield copy.
So this is just like, you know, the commentators going off and stuff like that.
System, because we've got Eric Rios's
Basically, we can see.
We can see. So they're like Championships.
And Eric Rios is actually here.
Oh, this is actually kind of important, or not important, but this is kind of incidental, is that with this particular Gastrodon, you know, you can actually obtain this specific Gastrodon right now if you want. This person who owns this team, his name is Eric Rios. He's actually the European champion. He won the recent tournament in Europe. And what they've done is that the Pokemon company have actually set for distribution his Gastrodon. So if you want a clone, you know, if you think about like the first Pokemon movie where Mewtwo clones everybody's Pokemon, we have one of these, right? You can clone Eric's Gastrodon and then, you know, obtain it in Sword and Shield. So if you want a Pokemon, a Gastrodon that is like perfectly set up for competitive Pokemon battling in doubles, then, you know, then you can go straight for it. But no, I just find it really cool. I watched that movie. It's like the first movie that came out, right? It was the one with Mewtwo, and then he clones everybody's Pokemon, you know, and then they go to the island and stuff. That movie had some really good visuals. I think that a lot of anime movies tend to suffer from the fact that they're anime movies. And what I mean by that is like they're detached from the general main story. And by being detached from the main general story is that, you know, they don't really mean anything, right? They don't really mean anything. So like I can see, you know, Pokemon movies having that kind of problem because they're completely self-contained within each movie. However, I do think that just because we're talking about the Mewtwo movie, that one does tend to stay in the minds of a lot of people. So I'm not too surprised that you watched it in the cinemas too. Oh, actually, JP, I don't know if you remember necessarily, but if you saw it in the movies, I remember when I saw the Mewtwo movie in the movies, because I also saw it at the cinema. You got like a collector's thing from it, right? And I remember specifically getting a card. I got a Pokemon card from it. I think you could get more than one, and I remember that a whole bunch of other turtles, right, at the school. Does that even work for turtles? You know, back in school, we would like compare cards and see which one we got, right? I did too. Oh, Kenjo, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? But yeah, I remember getting, I think I got like 2 cards or something like that, because I remember getting a Dragonite card, and then I remember getting a Mew card. So what card did you get, Kenjo, if you remember watching the Mewtwo movie? Yeah, because like the Dragonite card that I got wasn't like the proper Dragonite card. It was like a movie special card, and it was the mailman Dragonite. Because you remember at the start of the movie, the Dragonite's like flying around giving the invitations to everybody. It was that Dragonite. It was the postal Dragonite. You know, thankfully he didn't go postal. But it was the Dragonite that was giving out the invitations to the island, and we got that one, and then I think we got I got a Mew as well, which was really, really cool. But yeah, that was a long time ago. In Germany, you got nothing. Oh, that's sad to hear, JP. That's sad to hear. I feel a bit bad for you because I do remember getting those cards, and I was very pleased about that. What do you call it? Well, I remember, yeah, I met up with like the other turtles, you know, back in the day, back at school, and then we would sort of like compare which cards everybody had. And, you know, I think a lot of us did get the a lot of us got the Mew card. Maybe maybe that was a common one, but not many had the Dragonite card. So I was very happy about that. And that was one that I specifically remember. But no, that was cool. That was cool. But yeah, like, you know, Pokemon tournaments exist, right? They exist, and they have like professional level footage. You know, you have like insights into the battles, and it's very, very cool. And we can already see, right, they're advertising it here. So if you have Pokemon Sword or Pokemon Shield, and you want to get this person's Gastrodon, the one on the screen right now, you can go into Mystery Gift. You can go into the Mystery Gift function and then enter in this code, which is supposed to be like Eric's Gastrodon, but obviously like some of the letters are substituted with numbers, right? So you can see right there. And then you need to enter the passcode by the 27th. However, yeah, this is like a way to obtain competitive level Pokemon for free. You don't need to raise it. You don't need to do the IV training. You don't need to do the capsules or, you know, the move tutoring or anything like that. You know, you just enter it in and then off to the races you go. And Gastrodon isn't the most powerful Pokemon. You can see here, you can see in the corner, right at the top, you can take a look at people's teams, and it's stacked with legendaries. You can see Groudon, Zacian, Kyogre, Landorus, you know, Tornadus, another Zacian. Zacian's freaking everywhere in this game. But Gastrodon does have a niche in the meta, and I think that, you know, Gastrodon's like a sea slug and everything. It's a very cute Pokemon, so I definitely recommend if people are interested in playing Pokemon Sword and Shield, that may be interested in, you know, competitive level play, or if they just want like a high level Pokemon, you know, Gastrodon is right there for you. JP says, I went there with my whole family, and then they ran a short called Pikachu's Vacation without any info, and I assumed that this is the Pokemon movie, and my brother and I were dying of cringe and regret, and my parents were confused and uncomfortable. My sister was young at the time, and I think she asked us to go with her there. Oh no, that was just a short. That's not the whole... Can you imagine? Okay, so I understand that you were probably young at the time, JP, but, you know, I have to tell you, I legitimately don't think that, you know, you go to a cinema and then the entire movie is like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, right? Because, you know, the Pikachu's Vacation short is only like 5-10 minutes, isn't it? So, you know, that's not going to be the whole movie. I know that you may be young at the time, but yeah, you have to, you know, think things through a little bit. Yeah, we figured out it was a short when it ended, and then we were relieved. Ah, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Because, you know, imagine if you watch the short and then you think it's the whole movie, and then you just walk up and leave before the movie even starts. I think that would be incredibly unfortunate, because, you know, you had hyped yourself up, think that this was going to be a big movie or whatever, and then it's just like a 10-minute, you know, 10-minute nothing, right? A 10-minute short. So you know, it's a good thing that you stayed, obviously, but I would have been very concerned if you had left early thinking that that was the entire movie. Then you were relieved. Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, I don't know. Has anybody gone to a cinema and watched like a really, really short movie. I don't know if there's any rules revolving around it or surrounding it, but like if anybody in chat has watched, has anybody in chat watched like a 30-minute movie or like a movie that went for an hour or something along those lines? Because I don't know if there are any like big rules around it, right? I'm not 100% sure. Because there are probably some like artsy movies or art house movies or something like that, but would they be shown in the commercial cinema? That's what I'm wanting to know. Even movies that are like an hour and a half long are considered kind of short, right? Okay. Because if we're talking about recent movies, I know for a fact, and don't ask me how I know, but I know for a fact that that Morbius is like an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes, right? Haha, Morbius, I'm going to Morbius. Yeah, whatever. It's like an hour and 40 minutes or something like that, which is pretty short for a Marvel movie, Like you watch like a Marvel movie, you think it's going to be like 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours or whatever. But Morbius is only an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes, an hour and 45. So I'm just wondering, it's like, is there, has anybody seen at the cinema a movie that is of that length or shorter? So Kenjo says short films are usually no more than 40 minutes. Well, that makes a lot of sense, Kenjo. That makes a lot of sense because they are, short movies. But I'm just wondering, like, has anybody watched a movie like that, at their normal cinema, because you have like commercial cinemas, and then you have like art house cinemas and things like that, and obviously the movies that they show are quite different. So like IMAX or Village or something along those lines. I don't know what people have in other countries, but here in Australia, we do have a few like cinema kind of companies and locations and all of that, but they mostly show like a lot of similar films and all of that thing. There's not a huge like variety, and then the art house films would obviously show different stuff. But no, I'm just wondering, like, is there actually any kind of limit on that? Is there any kind of law on that? Because I'm not familiar with it. Imagine if you're watching a movie and it's like 30 minutes long, 40 minutes long, as Kenjo says, a short film, but then you pay a full ticket price. Would people be satisfied with that? And so that's why I'm just curious. That's why I'm wondering. He said he's going to mob. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. My favorite part of that movie, JP, is when he looks directly at the audience and he goes, oh, it's mobbing time. Yeah, that's my favorite part, JP. My absolute favorite part of the movie is when he looks directly into the camera and lets you know that it's mobbing time. That's the best part of the movie. Oh my. It's sort of funny because funniest shit I've ever seen. Exactly. It's funny because like I remember when people started let's just call it mob posting, right? When people started mob posting, I actually did find it pretty funny, but it wore itself out exceptionally fast. I think even like there's a lot of memes and jokes and that that don't last very long, right? That don't last very long. But I think Morbius, like mob posting and all of that stuff, is something that it burnt up especially quickly. It got to mainstream attention so fast. And then for me, like the personal like enjoyment out of mob posting, just died off just as quickly. But well, what I will say is that what I find most entertaining about Morbius, or like the whole meme surrounding Morbius or mob posting, is not the mob posting itself. It's that the mob posting got so prevalent that Sony Media got the idea to re-debut Morbius in the cinemas, and it flopped again. So I think Morbius is unironically one of the only films in recorded human history that has flopped twice at the box office, because it flopped on the first time around and then everybody started mobbing out. And then Sony was like, oh my god, we're getting all this engagement on our movie. Let's rush it back to the cinema. And so they spent all that money getting it back to the cinema, only to have it flop again. Because, everybody, was posting about Morbius, but nobody wanted to watch the movie. And so, yeah, I don't know how many movies are like that, but it has to be one of the only ones, at least in recent memory, that have unironically flopped twice. It takes, considering it's Hollywood, it takes some certain amount of failure to flop at the box office. But it takes, a special kind of failure to flop twice, in the space of a couple of months. They're like, that's really something that has not happened at all in recent times. And Morbius is probably, special in that regard. Ironic more posting is the meta now. I think even that's gonna run pretty dry. Because, maybe, I guess. Because, there's ironic Among Us posting and that kind of thing, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of all of that stuff, and I think that more posting is gonna wear itself out very thinly, because there's not a lot of substance, with more posting. It's like, oh, he's gonna morb, or it's morbing time, and it's like, that's about it, right? I actually did watch the movie. I actually did watch part of the movie, and there was this scene near the start. I got about 20 to 30 minutes into the movie, right? And obviously, guys, I watched the movie in a completely legitimate fashion, right? You gotta support. The starving Hollywood actors out there, and make sure that you never do anything as immoral as pirate a bad movie. That's absolutely unconscionable. You can't do that. In fact, if anybody does that here in the stream, they're gonna get a ban, right? Because here at this stream, we need to support the struggling Hollywood producer. we have, Jared Leto, M. Night Shyamalan, they're out there on the street. They don't know what they're gonna eat for their next meal. So the least that we can do is, give them a little bit of a handout. No, I'm just joking. But I got 20 to 30 minutes into the movie, and then I just said to myself, I can't watch this. This is too bad. And not even in it's so bad that it loops around and becomes funny again way. It's just bad in a kind of mediocre way. It's it's a kind of movie where you watch and you just say, well, I didn't really enjoy that. There's I don't know. I just didn't have a lot of fun with it, and I ended up not finishing it. So I don't think that I don't think it's really worth watching. A movie can be bad, but it has to have a certain charm. You gotta be like, oh, it's so bad, heh, and not be, oh, this is actually bad, I'm uncomfortable watching it. Exactly, JP. That's exactly how I feel. And Morbius, unfortunately, is like the latter. There's a lot of jokes, there's a lot of memes, but the movie itself, I don't think is redeemable, even in a it's so bad, it's funny way. There are movies like that. I think the most common example, or the most popular example in internet culture would be The Room, right? Tommy Wiseau, The Room. Do you remember all of those Room jokes? I do. I still remember a few Room jokes. It's like, oh my I'm revealing, I'm dating myself a little bit, but I remember when the ironic meme wasn't about morbing at it. It was like, you're tearing me apart, Lisa. All of that stuff. You're like, oh, hi, Mark. Oh man, but yeah, the Room is definitely a movie that comes to mind when we're talking about that. It's so bad that it loops around and becomes funny again, right? So I don't think Morbius has that kind of staying power. It's gonna fade out fairly quickly, because I don't think it has the same charm that the Room does. The Room has a certain charm, and Morbius doesn't. It does not. It does not. Oh man. I spilled coffee. Be right back. No worries, JP. Hopefully you're able to clean that up soon, because coffee stains, they can make a bit of a mess, right? It's the thing about coffee stains is like, it's not just the how it looks and everything, but how it smells too. Like, it sort of just stays there. So fingers crossed that's not too annoying to deal with, JP. I hope that that's all right for you. Kendra says, plus it's a AAA budget versus an indie film. Exactly. Well, exactly, right? You have a exactly, Kenjo. On one hand, you have a struggling indie film, right? You have an indie film with that's put together on a shoestring budget, and the actors, they might not be the most well known, but they're acting their heart out. They're trying to do the right thing. And on the other hand, you have the budgetary behemoth that is The Room and Tommy Wiseau. Sorry. No, but no, it is true. There's a big disparity in like the funding levels of the films and that kind of thing. What was the one before Morbius though? Because like people unironically thought Morbius would actually sweep the box office, right? Because that's where the memes started, right? It started with Morbius sweep, and Morbius sweep originally started as an unironic way to describe how Morbius was going to sweep the box office, and obviously that never panned out. Oh jeez, thank God it never panned out. But people were actually expecting Morbius to do pretty well. What was the one before? There was another Marvel film, I think. Maybe it was the same studio, maybe it was a different studio, but there was another Marvel film, and they were trying to do, they were trying to like promote, aspects of the Marvel universe, but it also flopped, right? It wasn't Venom, it was another one. I can't remember what it was called. Does anybody in chat know? It's like another film. It came out before Morbius, and it's like that one flopped as well. I think Venom may have also flopped, so maybe that is also part of it. But I'm trying to think of it. Wait, Doctor Strange? I think that was it. I'm gonna Google this for a second. Doctor Strange. Did anybody watch that movie? Yeah, it was like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This came out this year. Oh, it looked like it actually did pretty well in the budget. Okay, in the box office. I was under the impression that it was another flop like Morbius. Did anybody watch Doctor Strange? If so, what was your opinions of it? For like me personally, I'm not hugely into comic book universes. I think that, so we talk about like the MCU, right? Or like Marvel and DC are like the big comic book houses or whatever. I think that I've watched, the Avengers and all of that stuff. So I have some familiarity with Marvel, but I'm not like a huge Marvel fan. I think that the majority of my investment into like comic book franchises would probably rest with DC. So, DC Comics instead of Marvel. And the reason for that is because I enjoyed the Justice League cartoons when I was younger. Does anybody like Justice League and the Batman animated series? There was a string of animations in like the 90s. I don't know. I guess it's different for like I probably shouldn't say too much. They were Kino. Welcome, Kimmy. How are you doing today? But yeah, they were great. I really enjoyed like both Justice League and the animated series. I remember, and it shaped my cartoon preference as well, JP. Kendra says same. Okay, good. I like that we're all on the same page. But I remember there was like a string of Western cartoons that came out in the 90s. So you had cartoons, like the original Batman series, like Gargoyles and all of that stuff. Do you remember that? Gargoyles was sick. And Yeah, no, those definitely shaped a lot of my preferences for, you know, Western cartoons and things like that back then. But yeah, no, that's probably a while ago. So I'm not gonna get into I'm not gonna get into too much detail. It was like, you know, cartoons like SWAT Cats and stuff like that was cool too. That was cool too. Oh, man, okay. I just gotta settle down before I get into like this big sort of nostalgia spiral about, you know, cartoons from the 90s or whatever. But no, that was a lot of fun. Those cartoons were a lot of fun, and I would say that my investment in, you know, comic book franchises rests primarily because of my interest in the animated series of Batman, as well as the Justice League cartoons that came later. Because obviously, you know, you had the original Batman series, and then you also had the Superman series, right? And then they sort of like dovetailed into the Justice League series, and that was really enjoyable too, because it was like, there's this continuity, right? And then like sort of expansion of the universe. And for someone who wasn't really into comics, like that idea was really, really cool, because it's the idea that you can take characters from a series like 5 years ago, you know, 10 years ago or whatever, and then you can carry it into a new series, expand the cast of characters and continue on with more stories. I really enjoyed that. Karagi, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Karagi? Welcome. Hopefully you're doing well today. And yeah, I'm just having a little bit of a chat right now. I'll start Lord of the Rings at some point, but I hope you're doing well today, Karagi. But also, Kenjo, you said Cartoon Network kid. Cartoon Network kid. So do you actually remember? They had like the Cartoon Network originals, right? The Cartoon Network originals. It was like cartoons or whatever. Do you remember those? Some of those were pretty good too. A lot of people talk about like Courage the Cowardly Dog and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like what is it? Cow and Chicken was really underrated, personally. Yeah, Cow and Chicken was really underrated. I actually enjoyed that one quite a bit. Gandalf the Grey, Toru the Turquoise. That's not a bad title, Karagi. I may need to mess around in Photoshop later and change the color of the hat. Maybe get myself a staff, because there are a whole bunch of there are some wizards, right? There are some wizards in Middle Earth that were never revealed in the mainline series. And, for all we know, Toru the Turquoise might be part, of Middle Earth. Who knows? Maybe we'll find that out. You were gonna play something, says Kenjo. I didn't know. I'm sorry. One of these days, Kenjo, I'm actually gonna have a stream where I play video games for the majority of the stream instead of just sit here at this table and ramble about random things. One of these days, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one of these days. I watched Dexter. Dexter was good too. My sister did the best impersonation of Cow. Oh, that's nice. Oh, good idea. Wait, what are you talking about, JP? What's a good idea? Exactly, what's a good idea? But no, that's pretty cool. Like, there was a whole bunch, though. I remember there was like 6 or 7. Yeah, you had another good one. Another good one was Ed, Edd n Eddy. That one was a really good cartoon, too. I like, everybody talks about, a lot of people talk about Courage, and that was fantastic. But, like, there were a lot of good ones. There was like Johnny Bravo and all of that. There was one about beavers, but I can't remember if that was a Cartoon Network one or if that was a Nickelodeon one. There was like My Angry Beavers, and then I'm pretty sure Our Real Monsters was a Nickelodeon one. Oh, it's like 90s and early 2000s cartoons, man. But I don't even know what the cartoon scene is like nowadays, like Western cartoons and all of that. Because like as you get older and that, you sort of like transition into anime. Become like a hopeless, a hopeless weeb. American cartoon bad, Japanese anime good. No, nothing like that. It's just like I haven't really kept up to date with like Western cartoons. So I don't really know what's good nowadays. But also right after those were the anime. Yeah. So I don't know how it is for people in like other countries and all of that stuff, but we're in Australia. Oh, Alki, welcome to the stream. Alki, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. You caught me at a good time. I'm talking about 90s cartoons. I'm talking about cartoons in the mid to late 90s. But yeah, so what happened was that, I don't know, I guess like a lot of other countries would have a similar thing, but there were TV stations where, you just have like this big block of cartoons for, the kids, and then they would time it right before you go to school and then right when you come home from school. And so what I do have like vivid memories of like, it's like morning cartoons. I think that in the United States, let's say there's like this common idea of the Saturday morning cartoons, but I don't know if it was like that on weekdays as well. But where I'm from, you have like a block, so there are like shows that last for 2-3 hours, and then they would have cartoons in every half an hour block. And so you'd have your cable television where things like Nickelodeon is, or where Cartoon Network is. And then on the free-to-air networks, you'd have, blocks of cartoons, to and from school or whatever. And they would be things that Kenjo's mentioned. I remember specifically there was like a block of like, there was like a block of Sailor Moon into Pokemon into Dragon Ball Z, yeah. So like, that's the big sort of like entry point for people getting into anime and stuff like that. So that was fun. That was honestly very fun because you had the contrast of animation styles where the free-to-air TV would have a lot of like the sort of like Western friendly, I guess, or Western facing animes, and then you would have more of the pure Western cartoons on like the cable TV channels, so Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and then Alki mentions Disney as well. Like I used to watch some Disney Funhouse stuff Saturday morning in the early 2000s. Okay, so that's a morning, Saturday mornings thing. Like I'm not too sure if people in like North America also had like the weekday cartoons, but here in Australia we definitely had that quality where. And this was very clever by their networks because they caught all of the children. Doing their morning routine before going to school. And then they catch them again. The double. They catch them again when they come home from school, getting the cartoons that the kids missed in the morning. So very, very, very clever by a lot of these shows that are double dipped, right? But I don't think that a lot of them still exist anymore, which is, they're not being produced anymore, which is actually a bit of a big shame, because I feel like that kind of experience, sort of shaped a lot of my taste when it comes to cartoons, animation, and that kind of thing. And it's kind of sad that the stuff that you grew up on is, not necessarily what's going on now. And yes, there's an element of I'm grumpy, I'm old, things were better in the good old days, trademark, but yeah, it is a little sad because I actually did really enjoy those times, and I kind of wish that a lot of the kids growing up now would be able to experience the same things that I did. But obviously now I would imagine it's actually more convenient, right? I imagine it's actually more convenient. As Alki says, these days you can just stream whatever you want. Exactly. So, you don't need to worry about catching children in a certain block. It's more about like giving them access to basically, what you want to watch on demand. And that's the idea, right? Video on demand. They used to have Toonami and Adult Swim later on. Yes, I do remember that too, Kenjo. That was like the early to mid 2000s, I believe. Yeah, like I wasn't as big into that as the morning cartoon stuff, but I do remember some Adult Swim that was pretty fun. I can't remember when this came out. Like everybody, when they talk about Adult Swim, they think about I think that one of the signature ones would be, I don't know, what I can't even remember what thinking of like Aqua Teen Hunger Force and stuff like that. But I do remember the one that I liked. I don't know why. But because I guess I felt it was like a unique concept at the time. But for the Adult Swim shows, I really liked Space Ghost. You know, because they had the Space Ghost Coast to Coast, and it was set up as like a satirical late night talk show, right? And I really enjoyed that format. That was a really fun show to watch. I enjoyed that quite a bit. And then they had like the Brack show spin-off and everything, and they're like, you know, like all the other stuff too. But the one that does stick out to me personally was Space Ghost. That was a fun show. I really liked that. If you woke up before 8 a.m., you'd catch some of it before the anime aired. Oh, I remember that stuff being usually in the evenings or like in the late afternoons. I didn't really catch a lot of the morning stuff, if I'm being completely honest. Like I'm mostly, yeah, that's the talk show one. The Space Ghost Coast to Coast, that was the talk show one. Yes. I felt like at the time that was, you know, that was one that I hadn't encountered that idea before, and it was very cool to me. It was very, I don't know, like unique, I guess, but I enjoyed it a lot. That was a good show. But nah, that was fun. That's fun. So, before we start, I just want to know, you know, just out of curiosity, because I'm here talking about like all of my favorite, you know, cartoons and reminiscing and all of that. But what are some of the cartoons that you've enjoyed? You know, it doesn't have to be from the same time period. It doesn't have to be, you know, the same sorts of cartoons that I'm, you know, talking about. But, you know, what are some of your favorites? And, you know, did you watch it recently? Did you watch it a long time ago? You know, like, you don't have to share or anything like that. But if you're interested, let me know. Because I'm curious. I didn't even mean to talk about I didn't even mean to get into this ramble about cartoons, but it sort of just happened. I'm not complaining though. It's fun to think about. It's fun to reminisce a bit. Crania, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? My friend? How are you doing, Crania? I saw you. I saw you in Sora's stream earlier. You know, you should only be stopping by on my stream. No, I'm joking, of course. I'm joking. But no, how are you doing today, Crania? I know that, you know, you've got you've talked about like the monkeypox and stuff. So I hope you're feeling okay today, my friend. I hope you're feeling a little bit better than you were yesterday, and you know, and I hope that yesterday you're feeling a bit better than you were the day before. So, you know, just take things easy, look after yourself, and all of the usual stuff. Please, you know, just take it easy, and I hope you recover soon. But welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Welcome to the stream. I've been watching some of the early Simpsons episodes, says Alki. Oh my god, how could I talk about cartoons and not talk about the Simpsons? That's a very good choice, Alki. That's a very good choice. JP says, I liked some of the older ones, which I mentioned. Then Dragon Ball Z was big. Sailor Moon I didn't watch. Then later I watched some newer stuff. I thought Kim Possible was funny, for example. I think I didn't really watch a whole lot. I think that's like a generation of cartoons where I had sort of checked out. So if we talk about like Kim Possible and then later stuff like Ben 10 and that, like I think by that point I had stopped watching a lot of like, you know, Western cartoons on like Disney Channel and stuff like that. But that definitely, I think, yeah, that one is pretty popular actually. That one is pretty popular. But I personally couldn't tell you a whole lot about it because I never really got into it. You're so mean, team. No, I'm just joking, Crania. We love Sora here. Sora Shu. Sora Shu's a great guy. He's a great guy. I was watching his stream earlier as well. He was playing a bit of the old Silent Hill. He's a good guy. He's actually one of my favorite VTubers, like who streams like a similar time to me. Because like, you know, it's funny. Like there's like a million VTubers out there, but then, you know, you go onto, let's say, my time zone or like Australian prime time, and then you compare it to US prime time. There's definitely like a sort of like a big gap, right? Because I'm the type I'm the type of person that like fucking I go into twitch.tv, And then I look up like the live channels, and then you look up the VTuber tag, and then you look up like the Australian tag or whatever. You know, you just go and finding random people, and I barely find anybody. I barely find anybody. So it's good to have, you know, people that you know stream around the same time as you. So for me personally, it would be people like Bag, people like Sora, and all of that. And you know, I try and catch their streams as much as possible, and you know, I do enjoy what they do. So no, I'm just having a little joke. I'm just having a little joke, Crania. It's all good. I love Sora. He's great. I'm good and lonely. That's a little unfortunate, but I know that because you've got, you know, the monkeypox and the illness and everything, you know, it's like you need to isolate yourself. And so I'm just hoping, I'm just praying, you know, that for the next, you know, week, 2 weeks or whatever, you know, you're able to rest and recover in a really nice way. And, you know, once that's over, once you're back to full health, you can go out there and you can go out there and, you know, watch VTubers on your phone. Once you know, you go outside, you can touch some grass, and then you can pull up your phone and go back to twitch.tv to watch your friend Toru. No, I'm joking. But I do hope that, you know, you're keeping yourself comfortable and looking after yourself during this time, because, you know, you're not 100%, obviously. I watch Inuyasha, says Kenjo, and Sailor Moon because of my sister. There was also Knights of the Zodiac and Captain Tsubasa, which was shown and popular back home. What's Knights of the Zodiac, Kenjo? I don't think I've heard of that. And Captain Tsubasa, is that the soccer anime? The football anime, as some Europeans would call it? I'm not familiar with Knights of the Zodiac though. What kind of cartoon or anime is that? What's it about? Be able to let me know. But I'm pretty sure Captain... let's look it up, actually. I'm like 99% sure Captain Tsubasa is the soccer one. Hold on. Captain Tsubasa. Yeah, is a Japanese manga series. And it is about soccer. Okay, so I was right about that. But what's Knights of the Zodiac? Have I actually heard of that with a different name? Knights of the Zodiac. My god, why am I such a slow typer? I watch on my PC, not my phone. It's charging right now. No, that's alright, Cranny. I'm just joking. But no, that makes sense too. Because it's like, why, if you're at home, you know, why would you watch on your phone instead of your PC? You know, your PC, you have the big, you know, the big monitor, and you can, you know, of course, right? Of course, guys. You guys are, you know, watching Toru channel on twitch.tv on full screen, right? On your main monitor. I'm not shunted off to the side monitor under a muted tab, right? No, I'm joking. I don't really care about stuff like that. No, but it makes 100% sense. If you're at home and you're chilling, you know, then obviously, you know, you'd be watching on the PC instead of the phone, just because, you know, you can, yeah, it's unironically easier to tab. It's unironically easier to tab people out if you need to, but also, you know, you watch the full screen, etc., etc. So there's some history. Oh, so Kenjo's talking about the animes. So there's some history behind why those animes were shown, or those anime were shown in Latin America, are not very popular elsewhere. Saint Seiya is the other name. Okay, so Knights of the Zodiac is also called Saint Seiya. I have felt like I have heard Saint Seiya before as a name, as an anime, but I don't recognize it off the top of my head. I don't know the story. Because I don't think I have watched it personally. Imagine watching on TV. Yeah, sheesh. Sheesh, I know, right? Imagine watching on TV. I'm watching on my gaming PC, actually. Well, I mean, that makes sense, JP. I mean, like, how many people out there have their own computer specifically for watching Twitch? You just have one PC that does everything, right? maybe if you're like a professional streamer, you have like a second PC for streaming specifically. So like you have one main PC that does the gaming, and then you have a streaming PC that supplements it because you divide, you know, the workload or whatever. But I don't even think that's necessary. I think the majority of people just work with one PC, right? But with all of that said, I just looked at my stream time, like, oh my god, I've been chatting for like an hour already. Well, we should actually get to the game before like my game crashes. So if you'll be a little patient with me, we'll get to the game right in a second. But first, I struggle to understand the appeal of Lord of the Rings. It's totally overrated. I watched it last weekend and it was this generic fantasy with dumb plot holes and... What do you mean? Of course it's gonna come off as kinda generic because it's the definitive fantasy that all others are built on. I'd even say that... Oh my god, is that J.R.R. Tolkien himself? I'm gonna give this hack a piece of my mind. Mr. Tolkien, it's really cool to meet you, but I have a question. Why didn't the hobbits just fly on the eagles to Mordor? I don't want to be a douche and bother you, but... Oh my word, like you're doing now? Huh? Mr. Tolkien, please, I just... Huh? Oh, shut up. What a rude guy.
And I actually have here a letter written to me by a fellow who's very, very fond of the Lord of the Rings, and he asked me in the letter why they didn't just fly the eagles into Mordor, and I told him I get this same question. The people run into me at the pub and ask why didn't they just fly the eagles to Mordor? It would have made the quest a whole lot easier. And I told him the same thing that I'm telling you right now. Shut up.
I hope you enjoyed that skit, guys. Sora, welcome. How are you doing today, Sora? I saw you streaming a little bit earlier. How did your stream go? But I hope you guys enjoyed that little skit. I worked on that skit yesterday, so I wanted to stream yesterday, but then, you know, things happened. I got really, like, burnt out and stuff. It's nothing stream related, but I got burnt out on other stuff, and then I said... Oh, hold on a sec. Let's make sure that this is working. I got burnt out on other... Oh, okay, hold on. Why is my thing so small, and why is my, why is this not working? Just hold on a second, guys. This is so weird. I'm gonna quit to Windows and then start up again. But, you know, I worked on that a little bit yesterday. And I said to myself, you know, even if I can't play, let's say, even if I can't stream, I still wanted to do something for the stream, and you know, I eventually settled on doing that, right? Oh my god, why is it so small? But Hannah, how are you doing today, Sora? I hope you guys enjoyed that skit. I hope you guys also got a few of the references. Hold on, give us a sec.
The world is changed.
Let me maximize this a little. There we go. So, I hope you guys got like the George R.R. Martin outfit. I don't know if that came across really obvious, but you know, I was one of the characters right in that skit was George Martin, right?
I feel it in the
And I tried to do his accent. I listened to him doing a couple of interviews, and I tried to do his accent. It was really scuffed. It was really bad. But, you know, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the skit. I live the music so much. Which music, JP? Oh, the Galadriel one. Yeah. I thought for a second you were talking about the Oblivion music I used for the skit. But no, if you're talking about the Lord of the Rings one, then yes, this theme is like full of mystique. It's full of like tense, tense mystery. So it's very nice in that regard. I love Galadriel's intro. When I went to the cinema and watched it, it was a powerful thing. One of my fave cinema histories. Ooh. So, out of curiosity, did you read the books? Did you read the books? Or did you only watch the movies? And if you only watch the movies, which one's your favorite movie? Alright, we'll start with a new game though. I enjoyed the George R. R. Martin roleplay. Thank you, JP. Thank you. I appreciate it. It took all of my brain power to try and mimic his accent, and I don't think it really came off properly. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Excuse me. So, this game, unlike the, I only watched The Hobbit. Aw, Sora, unfortunately, Sora, you're selling yourself a bit short. Like, the Hobbit movies are not as good as like the originals. They're not as true to the source material, though. The main movies are not that true to the source material either. But just in general, the movies are constructed in a worse way than the originals or than the main three. I highly recommend Sora if you have just a small amount of spare time. Maybe if you have 15 to 20 hours to watch, 3 movies. If you have a full day to watch just a little bit, then you should. I highly recommend you watch the original trilogy for Lord of the Rings, because it's really, really good. It's really, really good. I highly recommend it. But the point is that since this game is like an older game, I don't think that this is going to control as smoothly as the recent Star Wars Lego games that we've been playing. So it's just a little bit of a heads up that there might be a bit more jank.
With the forging of the great rings. 3 were given to the elves, immortal, wisest and fairest of all beings. 7 to the dwarf lords, great miners.
15, yes. 15, and that's on the low end, Sora, because you have to watch like the super director's cuts, right? The extended editions.
Above all else, desire power.
Oh my god, the way they smiled.
Rings was bound the strength and will to govern each race.
I should actually change my tag.
They were all of them.
I'll do that in a sec.
For another ring was made.
Ooh.
In the land of Mordor, in the fires of Mount Doom, the Dark Lord Sauron forged in secret a master ring to control all others. One ring to rule them all.
Show the fight. I want to see like Sauron in the armor. Yes! Last battle. Last alliance, rather. Let's go.
Marched against the armies of Mordor, and on the slopes of Mount Doom.
That's cool. That's cool.
Middle-earth.
They look more like zombies than orcs, don't you think, guys? They look more like zombies. Oh, they're using clips from the movies. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess with Galadriel. This is like the clips from, this is the sound files from the actual movies. Oh, got the visual. Let's go. Of like the cascading swords going up. That's sick. Okay, just give me, hopefully I won't crash my game, but you give me a sec and I'm going to change my tag because I'm no longer just chatting. I'm actually playing Lego Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings. Who do you play as? We play as a variety of characters, Alki. I think in this one we start off as Isildur, and then we'll go from there. But just give me a second. Fingers crossed I don't crash, because the stability on this game hasn't been the greatest. Let's just say. All right, but let's. Oh. Okay, yeah, I think I'm Isildur. Press X to attack. Look at all of these hordes of orcs. Wah! Wah! Ah! What? Oh, wait. Okay. Whoa, your attack is so slow here. I'm used to neatly going through like your combos in Star Wars, but it's not like that here. It's a lot more clunky. But yeah, this battle scene is very hype. I really think that aesthetically, like some of the big battles in the movies are absolutely fantastic. I don't know. So JP mentions the charge of the Rohirrim. Yes, 100%. The one on the Pelennor Fields. Pelennor Fields. That one is a really, really cool moment. And I think when it comes to sort of like large scale battles and sort of like epic moments, I still feel like Lord of the Rings is in the top tier. Even though the movies now are probably like 20 years old. And I'm just mashing the X button, by the way. I'm not really doing anything special. I'm just mashing X. Oh, this dude has a shield. This guy's like a standard bearer. It's got a lot of HP. Okay, so the idea is that you need to last long enough to get all of the standard bearer waves. Right? And then you have 3, and then this guy's the second. Well, all I'm doing is mashing X, by the way. So it's like... Ooh, heartbeat. Oh, sorry. Like killing my dad. There we go. That's the 3rd. Oh, here we go. The big mountain explodes. And then we have Sauron himself come out. Oh, what the fuck? No! Eh? Oh, wait, huh? Oh, so... Oh, hold on. Wait, how can we... Okay, so Elendil and then... That's so cool. Do you see that? Destroy Morgul Lego. They're absolutely unashamed about how this is basically just a tie-in for you to buy the Lego pieces, right? Because they even name the set pieces, right? These, you see these mini towers or whatever. That's not a mini tower for the game. That's an actual Lego Lord of the Rings tie-in piece. And they straight out tell you what piece it is. Yeah, I'm impressed. I kneel. This is a level of shamelessness that is actually quite impressive. Oh my god. I need some health, maybe? Okay, that's fine. So Elendil is the father of Isildur. And Elendil is like the king of the Númenóreans right now. Oh, did Númenor still exist in this time? He's the king of Gondor and Arnor, which are the 2 like realms of like the high men, basically. Or high humans almost.
Victory was near.
Here we go. But then this guy absolutely gets blown the fuck out by big Sauron
But
with the mace.
Power of the ring could not be undone.
Chilling. He balls up his fist like Arthur. You know that meme? Whoa! Oh, that's so cool! That's so cool! You get the full aesthetic of Sauron just like flinging tens of guys per mace swing. That's so cool. Yes, let's go. He's gonna get snapped out of existence. Oh, I most definitely will. Look at that. Who wants to fight that? Who wants to fight that? Holy cow, that's sick. Oh shit. But how do I evade? How do I evade? Ah! No. Okay. Ow. No, don't hurt me. Oh, okay. Wait. Sorry. Took me a second. Whoa. Stupid orcs. Okay. Wait. No. Wait, huh? How did that hit me? Whoa! Oh my god, that's terrifying. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, I died. The mobility for this is like way worse than Lego. I'm actually not used to it. Wait. Let me run in. Okay. Okay, so I guess the general... Oh my god. The general... Oh, no. The general idea is just to like run around, kite the attacks, and then wait for him. Wait for him to like get his mace stuck. That's the general idea, right? Surely that's it. And then it should be on like the third big hit. Oh! That's so scary. When he does the swings. Yeah, so now it should be stuck. There we go. Oh. And so we just run around. You know what? Like the way that he turns and stuff, it makes him look like a robot. You know, I feel like rather than Sauron, I almost feel like... it's because I was playing Star Wars earlier, right? But like it makes me feel like I'm facing off against the giant General Grievous. Okay, one more. Oh! No! Don't hurt me! What? Doesn't he have like one more? Oh. Okay, good. There we go. Nice. Definitely a... Oh my god! He got Thanos. Look at him, he just got flung.
That Isildur, son of the king, took up his father's sword.
No. Damn, that's a nice POV. I would like to say so, JP. It's honestly very, very cool.
Sauron, the enemy of the free peoples of Middle-earth, was defeated.
Ooh.
The ring passed to Isildur, who had this one chance to destroy evil forever.
But do you think he did it, guys?
Follow me.
Do you think he did it, guys? Oh wow, we still have to fight to there. Oh, whatever. How is the broken sword stronger than when the sword is whole? The broken sword feels stronger than when it was whole. Excuse me? Oh, and another thing about this is that the perspective, at least for the intro, is locked, you know? So with Star Wars, you sort of have like free control over, you know, your perspective, but here it's like a lot more locked. And it's not a bad thing, but it just makes you feel like, you know, they want to sort of like get certain perspectives more. Whereas with Star Wars, they're more happy for you to just run around and do your own thing, right? Okay. Oh god, how do you step in? Whatever. Oh my god, wait. How am I supposed to get across? There we go, up. 100%, yeah. Wait. Wait, 100% meaning what, JP? There we go, and then... Oh, what the heck? What? That's so unfair! That's so unfair. Do you see that, guys? Like, when you're in the middle of the uncontrollable cutscene, they already start swarming you. And then when you get control back, they've already damaged you. That's bullshit. That's so unfair. What? Oh, Elrond's got like a higher jump. Okay. There you go. And what's back here? Alright, well, I guess nothing. I prefer Isildur for this, because I think that, like, the fact that his half-broken sword seems to have a faster attack speed makes it easier for me. And these guys can't double jump like you can in Star Wars. But I guess it makes sense, because the double jump is like a Jedi jump. Oh my god. Ooh, this guy's got the shield. Well, it's not gonna do him any good. Nice. See? Look, do you see that? They're already attacking you when you get control back. That's so BS. I mean, okay. It's a children's game. I should not get so mad. I shouldn't get so mad over this. But I am. You know, but I am. What of it? All right. Now, oh jeez. I can't believe there's still so many orcs here protecting like this specific spot. Here we go, guys.
Cast it into the fire. Destroy it.
No. And then he just walks away. But the gate is locked. How are you just gonna walk away, Isildur?
Are easily corrupted, and the Ring of Power has a will of its own. It betrayed Isildur
Oh my god.
to his death.
Look at that.
And some things that should not have been forgotten.
You know, maybe the
Were
Emperor
lost.
should have just hired orcs.
For 2,500
You know, instead of
years,
stormtroopers?
the ring passed out of all
Stormtroopers can't hit shit, but orcs can apparently hit invisible people. I like how they've gotten the audio from the
The
movies
ring
for this.
came to the creature Gollum,
Makes it
who
feel
took
more
it
authentic,
deep into the tunnels
even
of
though
the
it's
misty
Legos.
mountains. For 500 years it poisoned his mind.
Look at Gollum, holy cow.
But something happened then the ring did not intend. It was picked
Hit
up
Bilbo on the
by
head.
the most unlikely creature imaginable.
What's this?
See, like it uses the movie audio. I like that a lot, guys. I really like that.
A ring.
He's had a bad day. Can you imagine, guys, if you're like... Can you imagine what kind of pain you'd have to be to have that kind of shriek to echo throughout the entire mountain? Ugh, look at that. Look at that, guys. New characters available to buy. Ugh. Anyway, I'm not interested in any of that. Well, we're gonna do things the way that we did with Star Wars. In that we're just gonna go through like the main story. Alright, very nice, very nice. But we can just continue. You can tell that the way that this is being developed is, you know, it makes it a lot less malleable or open than, you know, Lego Star Wars. But I'm happy with it so far. I'm happy with it so far.
I need a holiday. You will keep an eye on Frodo, won't you?
2 eyes, as often as I can spare them.
I'm leaving everything to him.
What about this ring of yours? Is that staying too?
Oh no, the ring!
You're right, Gandalf. The ring must go to Frodo.
Bilbo.
The
Ring is
The ring is still, yeah.
Yes.
Goodbye, dear Bilbo.
See? Look. Gandalf doesn't have his hat on because I took it.
Till our next meeting.
Bilbo! Gandalf? He's gone, hasn't he?
He's just chilling, smoking weed. He's just chilling.
With the elves. One ring to rule them all. One ring to find them. One ring to bring them all.
He dropped it in his... Oh, jeez. Frodo. Dropped it in his tea.
Forged by the Dark Lord Sauron. Sauron needs only this ring to cover all the lands of a second darkness. Frodo, he must never find it. Confounded old
Samwise Gamgee.
dropping.
I ain't been dropping no eaves, sir, honest. Oh!
I like Sam.
What must I do?
Make for the village of Bree. I'll be waiting for you at the Inn of the Prancing Pony.
Gandalf hit his head on the lawn. Oh, that's adorable.
Keep it safe.
Just wrecks the house. That is adorable. I love that. I love that a lot. They're definitely going for like an abbreviated version of the movies though. I mean, it's relatively faithful, but it's like, it feels like it's going at a mile a minute, you know? But I'll expand on what I said earlier. Like when Sam showed up, I was like, oh, I love Sam. And so the reason is because like, you know, oh my God, the way that they're handling the camera is very, very wonky. But one of the reasons why I like Sam is because like in actuality, like Sam is one of the protagonists. You're like, oh, I know it's like, oh, Frodo's the protagonist or maybe like Aragorn or something like that. But the way that the books are written is basically that, you know, Sam is the protagonist, because what happens to Sam in the end? Like they don't really hint at it in the movies because a lot of the after Ring character growth and development for the hobbits is not really covered in the movies. But in the books, what happens is that, ooh, you can ride the goat. Yes! Goat. What? Okay, I guess not. But what happens in the books is that they actually have another story arc where... Is this spoilers? Lord of the Rings has been out for like 100+ years. Is it spoilers if I get onto this? But what happens is that Saruman, he actually escapes Orthanc, and then he comes in and he takes over. He takes over the Shire. And so in the movies, there's like an extended scene where Saruman is like locked up in Orthanc, and then he gets into a fight with Wormtongue, and then Wormtongue kills him. But in the books, he actually escapes from Orthanc, you know, after the Ents take siege to it, and then he is able to come to the Shire and take it over. And so what happens there is that there's extra development for a lot of the side hobbits. So you have Sam, you have Merry, you have Pippin, and especially Merry and Pippin, they become like the faces, right, of this, you know, revolution against Saruman to take the Shire, to save the Shire. Because one of the big themes that's like, you know, prevalent in the books, and it's not so much prevalent in the movies, but obviously, you know, you have to make cuts here and there. It's like one of the important themes is like, you save the world, but for her, right? You save the world, but for her. And it's like, you know, there's this big adventure. There's this sort of cataclysmic event to do with the War of the Ring. And then it's like, what's next, right? What's next? And what Frodo realizes in that story arc, and he expands a bit at the end of the movies, but, you know, it's really laid out very explicitly in the books, that Frodo realizes as they take back the Shire from Saruman is that, you know, his experience with the ring has changed him to such an extent that he cannot enjoy life and the future living here in Middle Earth. And that's why, you know, he goes with Gandalf and Elrond and all of that on the boat at the end. But it's like, you know, there is the cataclysmic event, and then there's also what happens next, right? And I think Frodo says something along the lines of, and this is in the movies, it's like, we saved the Shire, but it's not for me, you know? We saved the Shire, but not for me. We saved it for you. And it's because, you know, the characters like Sam, like Merry, like Pippin are the future of the Shire. And we actually see that Sam, he becomes like the mayor of Hobbiton, and then he gets married to Rosie, I think her name is. And he's like mayor for life or whatever. It becomes super popular. So this dweeb in Samwise Gamgee actually becomes a Giga Chad, right? Because he marries the girl, he gets the girl, he's the hero, he becomes mayor of the town, and he, you know, stays in a powerful position for the rest of his life. He gets all of his dreams, right? He's able to live in a way that he wants, right? And so Sam, he is able to get the girl, he saved Frodo, he saved the world, and he's able to reap the rewards from that. And so we find out, you know, at the end of that arc, that, you know, Frodo did go through all of this trial and tribulation, but he realizes that, you know, the experiences have shaped him too heavily that he can't enjoy what is to come. And so it's like, you know, life goes on. People still have to live, you know? So just because there's this one cataclysmic event doesn't mean that it's over. You know, there is the after to consider. Ugh. Merry, Pippin, here we go. Get out of my field! Oh. What? What kind of pig is that?
Ooh, that was close.
Broken something. Huh?
Oh, here we go, the ring rates.
Get off the road!
Get off the road! We're pedestrians, guys! Get off the road! Aren't you gonna, like, you know, obey road laws? Oh man, this is a gameplay section? This is spooky! Oh, we gotta stealth around him, I bet. I didn't read the books, but yeah, I read about it. I knew the end, sorta. Yeah. So it's like that. It's like that, Jay. You know, and I think that I look, okay, I'm not like a scholar when it comes to Lord of the Rings or anything. In fact, I think that I probably don't read enough, right? I probably don't read enough, but I feel like, you know, because we know that J.R.R. Tolkien is like a veteran of World War One, of the Great War. I feel like a lot of his thematics with regards to the stories in Lord of the Rings are either allegorical or are shaped by his experiences in World War One. So when we talk about, you know, like you know, how you have the cataclysmic event, the War of the Ring, and then, you know, what comes after, I feel like that's probably runs in parallel to his own experiences and how he fought in World War One, and then how he had to try and return to normal life afterwards. And it's probably, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it's probably allegorical too, for, like, you know, PTSD and that kind of thing. Oh god, stealth gameplay, please no. What's wrong with okay. JP, what's wrong with stealth gameplay? I know that in a lot of games, or in some games, stealth gameplay can be kind of underwhelming, but there are stealth games that I enjoy greatly. Like, I enjoy the Hitman games quite a lot, so I'll not have you, you know, talk crap about stealth gameplay. Alright, here we go. This is 100% stealth gameplay. Look at that. Hey, here. That crow is gonna fuck me up. I bet you 100 B? I'm pressing B. Okay, settle down, Frodo. Stay clear of the Black Rider's view. Okay. Okay. But then how am I supposed to get through? B's to keep you from putting the ring on? Yes. Yes, exactly, Alki. Because, you know, you get confronted, and then Frodo has, like, the temptation to put... Oh. Okay, so he can only roll. He can only roll. What's wrong? I suck at it. Oh, stealth gameplay. Well, I mean, it happens, JP. It happens. You know, everybody plays, like, games that they're not necessarily good at. No. So, do I have to do somebody else? Do I have to, like, make sure that Frodo's not the one who does it? Okay, fine. Oh. Okay. So there's something that I need to do here. Well, that's wrong about what I'm doing. Okay. So we need to, like, hit the crows or something. I was hard stuck in a section in Return to Castle Wolfenstein because I had a failure condition upon alarm being set. Okay. I see. Okay. Then release. There we go. So that's what we needed to do. And then now he's moved to the next section. Alright. So I guess that's the idea. We need to, like, keep breaking things, finding consumables, and then going on to the next area. Oh, what's here? Okay, Sam can use his spade to dig in Lego TM soil patches. Alright. So what's he gonna dig out? What's he got here? Chuck it. Ooh. Wait, Return to Castle Wolfenstein, JP. Is that like the really old shooter, or are you talking about one of the newer ones? Because I know that there are reboots. Like Bethesda has, like, a whole bunch of reboots for it. Is that what you're talking about, or are you talking about, like, the old one? How do we get through that? Ah, nice. It's like that. Oh, okay, this guy's, like, wandering. Holy shit. Like from 2005? I see. Okay, so we go through here. Okay, and then we wait for him to turn around. And we hide behind this tree, right? And then we can just... Yep, now we can go. And then we... Ah! Damn crows. He's over there. So I imagine the idea is that we go inside here as a hobbit. And then we can climb ourselves up here. And we can sneak up on that crow and give him a good whack. Okay, well, I guess no whacks were had, but we're able to at least get the ring wraith to get out of our hair. All right, let's go, Sam. I'm sure there's something inside here. Okay, well, I guess that's invulnerable. The fact that he's attacking with a shovel is really endearing too. The hell? Oh my god, Sam the gardener. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. That's like a little bit of extra cover, guys.
The hour grows late, and Gandalf the Grey rides to Isengard, seeking my counsel.
That's a bad idea, Gandalf. It's a bad idea. How do you think I get this hat? Huh?
Saruman.
What the fuck? The horse just dies. Holy cow.
So the Ring of Power has been found.
It was in the Shire. Under my very nose.
Sauron is gathering all evil to him.
You know this?
Oh, this?
I have seen it.
Yeah, he's seen it a little too intensely.
A Palantir is a dangerous tool, Saruman.
The hour is later than you think.
There we go.
Sauron's
It's already too late.
forces are already moving. They will find the ring and kill the one who carries it.
Frodo,
No,
Must
Frodo.
join with Sauron.
when did Saruman the Wise abandon reason for madness?
Oh, wait, huh? Can you... Oh, okay, okay. Let's go. Force. Wizard battles, wizard battles. Okay, okay, okay. Killing the horse off to make room for Shadowfax. Well, but that comes later. That comes after Gandalf becomes Gandalf the White, right? There's still a lot of time that horse can be useful for, Alki. Alright, alright. It's time now. Wow. Melee. I have a staff, but... Oh, no, okay. Never mind. Ah! Okay, what kind of attack's that? Oh! What? He's got a stomp! No! Oh no! Let me go! What am I supposed to do here? Okay, just spam X again. I see. I see! Okay, so this is the fireballs. Oh my god. Ah! Couldn't jump in time. There we go. Yo! That's cool though. That's cool. Like they actually make room for like the boss fights and stuff. There we go. Attacking him before he can attack. Damn. Oh, I nearly fucked that up. Oh no! I can't jump. There's like a small cooldown. That's fine though. Oh! Unlimited power! He's got the two staves. The staves.
Chance of aiding me willingly, but you have elected the way of pain.
That's cool. That's so cool. You got like the dual wield staves. Alright, now we go back. Oh, okay. So Star Wars, for example, operates on the idea of like automatic checkpointing, but I guess this one is like you have to manually save. Alright, well, we'll save and continue. So this is like manual saves. That's fine. Yeah, poor Gandalf. Yeah, very F. Alright, so what are we doing with this fishing rod? Oh, okay. Huh? Or do I need to do that here? Okay, I need to do that here. Okay. Then what? Do we move this? What does the floor tile do? Do we need another floor tile? I'm so confused. What are we doing here, guys? What are we doing here? Hey, yeah, okay, so there was another floor tile. Okay. Then we put that here. Bump. And I guess we can move this? What's the point of all these floor tiles? Yep. Alright. I wonder why Saruman never made sure he was dead. Well, I mean, That's not a bad. Here we go. And then that should just roll down and then attract his attention. Yes, okay. I only moved him like 2 centimeters. Okay, pop. Nice. Where's Sam? Here you go. Well, that's the thing though, right? That's the thing though, right, Alki? So, he imprisons Gandalf on, like, the roof of Orthanc, right? On the top of the roof. And then he just assumes that, like, Gandalf is just gonna be stuck there forever. He just assumes Gandalf is just gonna be stuck there. Oh no, the poor owl. Oh, who could have done such a thing? He didn't want to kill off an old friend. He was actually hoping that Gandalf would turn to his side. And he was sort of like letting him marinate at the top of Orthanc because he was still hopeful that Gandalf would join him rather than fight him. Yeah, JP, yeah. Oh my god. Let's go, Mr. Fishing Rod. Press B to start fishing. Okay. Oh! Looks like we got something, fellas. Like that? Yeah, what good is that? There's X there, but I'm pretty sure it's like X up there, right? No? X here? Okay, whatever. I don't get the point of that. Pretty sure it's like X here. Yep. Oh! He's on fire! Oh, I was hoping he would be on fire, but he shouldn't be able to cross now, should he? So that means we can get through. Because they can't use water. Oh, shit. How the fuck did he get there? Where's Sam? Sam boy. Samuel. Ah. You know, it ain't pretty, fellas, but it's an honest living. Oh no. What the heck? Oh, inside the tree trunk. Okay. The ring wraith is pretty powerful. He's pretty powerful, but unfortunately he couldn't be better. Alright, so I guess we just grab this thing. Then use it to knock out the bird. And yeah, we can make it. We can try and make it across the road, maybe.
That Black Rider was looking for something.
Don't put it on.
The Shire. Sam and I must get debris. Buckleberry Ferry. Follow me.
Whoa. Look at them run. It's so cute. And they're like waddling. Like, doop, doop, doop. Oh shit. Okay. Oh no, okay. So they're like all of these obstacles that I need to avoid. What the fuck do I get? Oh. How come there are 2 of them? Shouldn't there only be 1? Oh shit. No! Leave me alone! I like how the other hobbits just respawn right in front of you. Okay. Stay away! we? Okay, good. We made it. We made it. Yeah, they don't like water.
How far to the nearest crossing?
The Brandywine Bridge. 20 miles.
Yeah, but they're just gonna meet you on the other side. Like, uh-oh. What now? Oh, man. I don't know. I actually have pretty good, like, overall memories of Lord of the Rings. I know that, you know, a lot of movie franchises and a lot of novel franchises don't really pan out that well when they become video games and vice versa. But even some of the quote-unquote mediocre Lord of the Rings games, I have pretty positive memories of. So, like, the ones that I'm thinking is, like, the, do you have any of you guys played, like, on console? There's like the movie tie-in games, and they're like action games. It's like, you know, Two Towers and then Return of the King. And I know that they had a separate sort of like more RPG focused one for Fellowship of the Ring. But I remember having really fond memories of, you know, Two Towers and Return of the King, because they had a whole bunch of unlockables like this game, right? So Alki's saying that there's a lot of characters to unlock. In any of the Lego games, like, I've found that there's like a million characters to unlock. So there's less characters to unlock in like the other movie tie-in games, but you know, I actually do enjoy it a lot, because, you know, it's like, I remember when I was like a smaller turtle. I was a bit of a hatchling back then, you know. It was quite a long time ago. You know, I actually still had friends then, for example. But I was able to play some of these games co-op, and then, you know, we'd like, you know, play and that kind of thing. But as a result of getting through all of the levels together, we would be able to watch commentaries, right? So they had commentaries for the game, and then like it was commentaries that tied into the movie. So they had the actors from the games, so actors from the movies, and then they talk about like what they do in the game and stuff like that. And it was really interesting because it was like this developer diary kind of aspect, but it was part of, you know, you beating the game, and then they treated it as like unlockable content or whatever. And I think having that kind of insight into the development process, yes, it's intentional, yes, it's scripted, but it's still nice. And, you know, we see, you know, a lot of games now, they're not really developed with that kind of content, unless, you know, the developers release some type of you know, developer commentary thing. But it was small videos and clips with a little bit of humor in that, which you know, which really helped build a kind of like enjoyment for the game. Because even though it wasn't of the game itself, like it's not content per se, they were still fun to watch, fun to listen to. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get here to Bree. This is Bree, and we're gonna talk to Aragorn. We're gonna meet Aragorn. And then probably after that, we're gonna... I want to show a few of those cutscenes. I want to show a few of that thing.
For your trouble, I'll let you in on a secret
to
help you seek out other quests.
Okay. Quest unlocked. Oh, so this is like full-on open world, if that's the case. You can't just... Oh, but this is Prancing Pony, right? So we can go to the blacksmith to forge items. So this is like a full-on RPG. Like they're integrating full-on RPG elements. Press right to switch to Sam, who has apparently some sort of Lego equipment. Isn't Sam this one here? Oh, that's Mary. So Sam was right before here. No? Yes. Okay. I really don't think that like this kindling is gonna work. I mean, obviously they show it, but like the kindling shouldn't work considering how raining it is. You know, it's just pouring rain. All right, let's talk to the blacksmith. Oh, we unlocked his designs. Mithril. We can get a mithril troll. Oh my god. Surely we wouldn't be allowed to get that right now. Surely. What? We can? Mithril. I didn't realize they made Mithril and Brie. I didn't realize they had this here. Holy cow, guys. Alright. But anyway, the idea will be to like get to Aragorn and then we'll chat a little bit more before finishing the stream. I hope you don't mind that this has mostly been a chatting stream. Jump up and down. Whoa. Well, this is like a Mario mini game. Mario Party mini game. All right. Oh. I really like this. This music is like, I don't know. It lightens my mood because it's like comfy, it's chill, it's all of that stuff. Press and hold B. And then the spade. What, you can change it? Treasure trove, okay. And the mithril. Okay. Okay. But yeah, this sort of music really just... I don't know. It lifts my spirits. It makes me a little emotional too. I have, I don't know. Like I have good memories associated with Lord of the Rings. It is one of my favorite franchises. It is one of my favorite franchises. I had a big Lord of the Rings phase back in the day. Blessed. Oh, we don't have enough. Oh, well, that's fine. It is blessed. I did enjoy it.
Excuse me.
It's like children. But thankfully, these guys know that hobbits exist.
Tell him we've arrived.
Gandalf? Not seen him for 6 months. What do we do now?
What do we do now? Oh no! Gandalf! Aragorn, please.
What's that?
Something for the road.
I can get you one.
He's like, don't look at me, no! The ring! I see you.
You draw far too much attention to yourself. I know what hunts you.
The toilets. I mean, obviously it doesn't like pan out like that, you know. That they run to the toilets and then they get stuck behind the door.
What are they?
They are the Nazgul.
Ring wraiths.
At all times they feel the presence of the ring.
Where are you taking us?
Into the wild.
Yeah, because Gandalf isn't here, right? And we're supposed to... I like how, you know, it's like, oh my goodness, the ring wraiths are here. And then we complete the cutscene and then it's just back as normal. Back as normal. Very nice, very I'm hoping that I don't lose too much progress if I quit the game here. Because I am 99% sure that we're going to have to do like a boss fight when we go to like the mountaintop and stuff. And I don't want to really do a boss fight. Like I want to finish things here and then have like a little bit of a chat and watch a couple of things with you guys. So I'm hoping that this doesn't mess me up. But just give me a moment and then we can head back to chat for just a little bit. All right. I hope you guys are doing well, though. Hope you guys are doing well. But no, I was talking about how there's like, oh my god, I was talking about how there was like these developer commentaries. I want to take a look at a few of them. Hold on, 2 hours game, and then it's like commentary or whatever. They had like small cutscenes and stuff. Or maybe it's not commentary. It's Two Towers game. Maybe it's not on YouTube. I don't know. Oh my god. Hold on, just give me a second. Two Towers, PS2, and then unlock, let's just say. Okay, bonus content. I think this is it. Oh my god, this is like awful. Okay, let me put this up. So, what this is, this is like all of the bonus content apparently. So I imagine this is things like the developer commentaries. You can see like the interviews and that, right? But please excuse the quality. Please excuse the video quality. We have to remember, like, yeah, we have to remember this is back in like the PS2 and GameCube days. That's when this game came out. So we have to be mindful of all of this and understand that it's going to be a bit of a problem with regards to like video quality. It's not going to be crisp 1080p or amazing 4K quality. It's going to be in this really pixelated bullcrap. But this is the kind of content that you got unlockable, for completing parts of the game and doing certain challenges and things like that. And I really enjoyed this aspect of the game. And I kind of wish they did that now, with a lot of games that are out right now, but no, they don't really. But so here's like an example, I think. Oh. Is that too loud? Let me know if it's too loud.
Into this ring, he poured his cruelty, his malice, and his will to dominate all life.
Okay, you can hear the audio is not flash either.
One ring to rule them all.
What we've done is a culmination of a huge amount of work involving thousands of people.
The title "The Two Towers" refers to the Tower of Orthanc,
look how awful the quality is.
Character is based.
But this is so epic.
And
Imagine being a kid. Imagine being a kid and then watching this. Like, you beat a level, you struggled really hard, and then you get to watch this as your reward. Like, that's cool.
In Mordor, the home of Sauron.
Film 2, like every film in this trilogy, is a challenge. And will remain so until we deliver it. It's a great movie. It's going to be bigger than film 1.
I think definitely that there is such care that went into making these movies, and to be able to transfer that information to the team that's building the games is great, because I know they're putting in an equal amount of care and effort into bringing a really rich game to the public.
Tolkien describes Edoras very vividly in the books as being a city of wooden buildings on a hill in front of a range of snowy mountains. When we were originally doing our location scouting.
Yeah, so one thing that's really cool is, I don't know, has anybody visited any of the sites in New Zealand? Because all of these films, right? All of these films were filmed in New Zealand. And obviously, like, a lot of the locations are not existing anymore, right? Because they're built for the movie. They're props for the movie. So they're not there anymore in any real sense. But there are some locations inside New Zealand where they do have, elements of, the movies there. And so I was curious, like, has anybody in chat, been to New Zealand or visited some of these places? Because I actually have. I've actually been to New Zealand. I've been to... let me change the category back to just chatting again. But I have been to New Zealand, and I have visited some of these places. So the place that I've gone to visit specifically, and I think I've gone there twice now, is this area where you visit Hobbiton. Eshkaton, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today, Eshkaton? How are you doing? How are you doing? Yeah, so we're playing a little bit of Lego Lord of the Rings earlier, and knowing me, I was like, no, I don't want to play a game. I just want to talk and watch YouTube videos. So that's what we're doing now to cap off the stream. But how are you doing today, Eshkaton? How are you doing? But yeah, I've been to New Zealand, and I've actually been to the location because they've turned it into a tourist attraction where they filmed parts of Hobbiton. And on one hand, it's really cool because we were able to, they have like a tour for it. So it's like a tourist location officially. And if we take a look at like the actual Hobbiton, a lot of it doesn't really exist in the form that you see in the movies. And what you realize is that a lot of what is there is actually sort of like, you know, tricks with the camera. So it's not a real village. But what's really cool is that they built a medieval style tavern, a Lord of the Rings like fantasy style tavern. And then at the end of the tour, you know, you go through all of like the different hobbit holes and you roam around Hobbiton and all of that stuff. After that, you know, they treat you to like a nice ale, and it's like this special, it's like I don't know, they call it like Prancing Pony Ale or something like that. It's like a special ale that they make there, and it's like a traditional kind of fantasy tavern. And honestly, I would suggest going there just, you know, just for that alone, because that was actually quite a lot of fun. And so I do enjoy how, you know, New Zealand seems to take a lot of pride in the fact that they are the location for the Lord of the Rings films, because as we can see, you know, it's very scenic, it's very, very picturesque, if you will, and you know, they take a lot of pride with that, and they've tried to turn it into a tourist destination. It's worked on a tourist sucker like me, if you will. But very fun, and I hope that, you know, if anybody in chat is interested in that sort of thing, you know, that they're able to take steps one day and you know, visit there, because it's quite a good location, and New Zealand in general is an amazing place for sightseeing. JP says, oh, they're stuck in the bathroom, obviously, so you got like a solid 5 hours until they get out. Referring to the ring rates earlier, getting stuck in the bathroom. Well, you know what, JP? You know what? Actually, we have 15 hours, right? Because you say it's 5 hours, but there's 3 ring rates, right? There's 3 ring rates. So we actually have 15 hours, 5 hours for each ring rate, because, you know, you need to go. And if you have 15 spare hours, you know what you can do in those 15 spare hours? Watch all 3 Lord of the Rings movies. There you go. It fits. It's perfect. It's all perfect. Eshkaton says he's doing good. I'm glad to hear that. I am glad to hear that, Eshkaton. Hopefully, you know, your weekend is nice and chill and relaxing, and, you know, you don't have to go through too much nonsense. You can just chill. Fingers crossed. But thank you for stopping by. We'll watch a little bit more of this. Because, as I said, these are like unlockable cutscenes. These are unlockable interviews. When you play the PS2 game, the GameCube game, the sort of like the tie-in movie games. And I really enjoyed this, you know, as a younger turtle, because we could watch these, right? And then it's like, it gives you greater insight to the filming process. It gives you greater insight to how the actors treat the characters. And overall, it's just a very fun time.
I said, look, we've got to find somewhere in New Zealand, there's got to be a hill like this that's in front of the mountains. So they went helicoptering all around the country, and they came back with a photograph of the absolute perfect hill. It was about 60 or 70 miles away from the nearest town. It was in the middle of the South Island. It was very remote. We spent about 7 or 8 months actually constructing these huge buildings. The end result was that in the movie we have an Edoras, which is thoroughly believable. I was able to.
Well, the thing is, like, okay, so the thing is, like, in the. Yeah. Like, when they say an Edoras that is thoroughly believable, I don't think it's like that believable, because it's like a poor version of Whiterun, and you can tell definitely that when Bethesda made Skyrim, and then you have like the city of Whiterun, you can definitely tell they took inspiration from this. But I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a believable looking town, but it is a very cool aesthetically looking town, and I think that's more important for the course of a movie, because it's striking, it's visually appealing, it's visually striking.
To go there and just shoot as if it was an existing location.
One of the exciting things about the EA games and what I've been seeing in the models as they've been built is a great replication of our sets and our characters.
Yeah, look at this. PS2 graphics, early 3D. Let's go. This is the good stuff, guys. This is the good stuff. This is, this is what I remember. I can't read that, Crania. I can't read that, but I hope you're doing well, Crania.
To the point where EA worked out a deal with our actors so that they would come in and record their own dialogue. The actors were quite excited about it.
Oh, Viggo
Mortensen
is
Helm's
crazy.
Deep is over. The battle for Middle Earth is about to begin.
We got a miniature of Helm's Deep, but what was interesting was that there wasn't just a model, there was a huge miniature.
Yes, that's what I like. Yes. So this is something that, with Helm's Deep, a lot of what they did was basically, camera, cinematography, it's camera tricks. So obviously they don't have a real Helm's Deep. It was like a model, and then, it's sort of like built to scale, and they sort of used cinematography and camera tricks to be able to capture it in the movies. It's really, really cool. Look at that. Can you imagine? Yeah. Okay. So I don't know. I'm personally not a Warhammer guy. I'm not like a Warhammer guy or anything. But you imagine being a Warhammer guy and then having like a set like this, Helm's Deep, and it's this big. Like, that'd be so cool. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a child at heart, but that'd be so much fun to run around in, or place models in and that sort of thing. Like I said, I'm not a Warhammer guy. I don't have the money for that. It's apparently it's a very expensive hobby, but like, it would just be cool. It would just be cool.
Or 40 feet wide. And it was so big that we could just photograph it with our cameras and it wouldn't look like a miniature. It just looked totally believable.
What makes a great movie is really a great script and a great cast. I imagine when you're doing a game, it's many of the same challenges. You've got to attract the right talent to the game. You've got to get a story that will attract an audience, and then become excited by that story and compelled by it.
I never noticed that when I was younger. Oh, well, let's look at this again, guys. Let's look at this again.
You've got to get a story that will attract an audience, and then become excited by that.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh, looks like we have a real gamer on our hands here, guys. That makes me that makes me physically uncomfortable. Yes, JP, he's playing the game for real. He's a real gamer.
Story and compelled by it.
That's so bad. That's so bad. That's some next level grip. Yes, exactly, Alki. That's some next level grip. We're talking about a man who just ninjas his way through this game. All right.
Story to actually see it come to life.
There is nothing we can do for Frodo. The quest.
He's playing the game in real life. Yes. Yeah, he's living the game, Crane. Yeah, he's living it.
And so he will strike hard and fast at the world of men. War is upon us.
But playing this as, you play this as a kid, you can't help but get hyped. You can't help but get hyped. Like, all this content's really good.
They stole my precious, and we want it.
Wait, actually, on that note, sorry, isn't there like a Golem-based game coming out soon? I don't know, like maybe people more familiar. I kind of want to look this up. Hold on. Lord of the Rings Golem game. I feel like there's one coming out. Oh, there is. It was recently shown at, oh God, that's too long. Oh, it's on Steam. Release date September 1, 2022. Interesting. Yeah, I think they showed it off at like the E3 thingy. Well, it's not E3 anymore, but it's like the equivalent of it. They showed it off, but I don't know how good it's gonna be. But no, I just brought it up because like it just came to mind. I was like, oh my God, they're making a Golem game, aren't they? But no, let's keep watching through a little bit of it. Oh my God, my ears. There we go. You actually get some, I don't know how, it's like, haha, we're scripting it for the video game, but you get some banter between some of the actors with regards to the games, like, how good they are and stuff, and it's actually really endearing. It's really endearing. I don't know. Matt, oh, sorry, here. Guys. Look at this. This is a real location. This area here is where the tavern is set up, and this bridge is real. I have crossed this bridge, right? That's cool to think about, that you have been in this like fantasy-esque, this picturesque, fantasy world, and I have been there. I was here. You know, I was here crossing this bridge, going to this tavern. That's a cool thing to think about. You know, New Zealand is fantastic. New Zealand is awesome. New Zealand is honestly a great place.
In the lands of Middle-earth, legend tells of the Dark Lord Sauron and the ring that would give him the power to enslave the world, and has now found its way into the hands of the most unlikely person imaginable.
I'm a huge game fan, so obviously I wanted to find out all the details about a Lord of
Here
the
we
Rings
go.
video
Elijah
game.
Wood.
I'll get myself into a mode of playing where I'll play all the time, and it's just...
Oh wait, actually, like Elijah's grip, you know, Elijah's grip is not, you know, is not that questionable, right? Like you might say, oh, why is he like? Why doesn't he have his thumb resting on you know? It's like, but no, that's not too bad. Because like normally you want to like rest your thumb on you know, like the right side stick and then, you know, shift it onto, you know, the direction, you know, the 4 buttons on the side. But no, that's still a better looking grip than the previous
I'm
guy.
playing like an adventure game that my head's in. Once I get in, I can't stop thinking about it, and I have to take my character to the end.
This task was appointed to
Man, the
you,
games are fun
and if
too.
you
Maybe
do
I
not
should
find
try
a way-
and get them on emulator to play them on stream. Is that legal?
So I've been kind of asking around about this thing, and I finally got to play it, and it's unbelievable. It's just beautiful to look at.
I'm sure they're beautiful to look at now, but you know, I mean, sorry, I'm sure they were beautiful to look at back then, but looking at it now, that's just funny to think about. That's just funny to think about. I remember playing them on Game Boy. Did they get ported to Game Boy, Alki? I actually don't remember. I know that they had one for PS2 and GameCube and stuff, but and the original Xbox, but I don't remember if they had a Game Boy version or if the Game Boy games were like different in nature. Probably not. I don't know, says Kenjo. Oh, whether they're legal or not. I really don't think it's legal, but you know, let's just you know, let's just do it and say it's legal. It's more like Diablo. Okay. So definitely a few things would have had to been changed around for that to happen. A few things would have to been changed.
Oh, that is so cool. Yeah, go on, Aragorn. Come on.
Oh, that's cute.
They are coming.
They are coming. Drums.
It's kind of a bonus to be able to turn on a video game and have me running around. I'm getting my ass kicked. Frodo looks like me. Isn't that cool? So cool.
They will find the ring.
I mean, back then, you know, because this is like the days of early 3D. Like, this game came out around the time the movies came out. So that's like 2002, 2003, right? So definitely at that time, that's 20 years ago, guys, you know? Looking at that, like, I'm sure it must have been impressive for them at the time. And thinking of it in my head, it looks way better in my head than it does looking at it now. So, you know.
They want the ring! They must not take it. The difference between ADR for a film and sort of voicing a game is that ADR for a film is generally to picture. You're kind of looking at the film and trying to copy the dialogue that you've done before and get it in sync with the dialogue for the film.
Who are you? You frightened?
Yes.
Not nearly frightened enough.
The game, it's not to picture, and it's just a lot of kind of atmospheric elements that you kind of throw in, you know, danger, help, that sort of thing.
Aragorn! Help!
Ooh.
Aragorn! Aragorn!
I'm a fan of action figures and I'm a fan of games, and if I get to be included,
Based?
it's just it's
Based?
a total geek bonus.
Elijah Wood is
I dig it.
based.
The smallest person can change the course of the future.
Oh, okay.
I'm so excited and I can't wait till I have my copy. It's wicked.
But is he telling the truth? We don't know. We don't know. That's the thing. We don't know if he's telling the truth. Then here we go. Now we get to now we get like the big boy interview.
Decided. The peril of the ring bearer deepens.
With Gandalf.
For there is another who hunts the ring.
Here we go.
I have never played a video game in my life. I can never understand the rules.
Well, at least he's honest, guys. At least Sir Ian McKellen is honest.
I've got very large and clumsy hands, and not quite the hand-mind coordination that I think is necessary, which seems to be available to everyone under the age of 6. What's wonderful about this game, Lord of the Rings, is that you are getting the voices of the original actors, all of them. And today I've been doing the recording of Gandalf the Grey and Gandalf the White, the two characters that I play in Lord of the Rings.
That's
what can
cool.
you see?
There are markings. It's some form of Elvish. I can't read it.
There are few who can.
There is a union now between the two towers, Orsank and Barad-dûr.
For the game, it's a little rougher, a little readier, a little more immediate, perhaps.
That's cool. I've always found like acting out, because like I've always found acting like battle cries or getting hit or like getting wounded and that kind of thing. I've always found that to be like kind of weird. And my respect goes out to like the people who are able to do it and like make it sound natural, because it like in isolation, recording this sort of stuff in isolation always sounds weird to me.
Those villagers who are still alive. Boom.
Basically, this is an aggressive bit of fighting. It's the military side.
Oh, right. Gandalf had some pretty cool... Yeah, Gandalf's kit was pretty cool. He had some good AoE stuff.
That comes out. The commander, the samurai, the leader.
You shall not pass!
So what you're seeing on the screen is as near as, damn it,
That's
the Gandalf
cool.
that you're seeing in the movies. And I wish I could come and play the game with you.
They got like more stuff like that, but we'll skip around a little bit. So this one is like more developing the game. It's like I don't want to spend like a full like 50 minutes going through all of this, guys.
Probably the most intimidating aspect of embarking on this project was...
So this is like the developers.
The sense that we have this incredible...
Wait, Scott Evans, his name? I don't know. It could just be like a generic one. So the thing that's to like that you need to take into account as well is that these are EA developed games and they were developed in a rush. So it's like they did a fantastic job, and I think this is probably through by like limiting the scope of the game, like knowing what they're trying to accomplish with it and sticking to that ruthlessly, is that they gave the developers a very short amount of time. And it's the kind of studio that we know is like not great about stuff like that, but they were still able to create a game that felt like it was full of soul despite being a soulless movie tie-in. And I think that they did actually a really stellar job in trying to give that impression that it was full of soul, even though realistically it probably wasn't, And maybe this is my own childhood memories sort of like clouding me because of nostalgia. I've got that rose-tinted glasses on, but I actually really did enjoy these games.
To deliver on an interactive format in the same way that Peter Jackson had delivered in film. He has taken some of the most beloved literary works of all time and translated them into an epic film masterpiece that has created millions and millions of fans worldwide.
Are you frightened?
Yes.
Not nearly frightened enough.
At the beginning of a project, you're working on the conceptual side and the design side. As the project progresses, use the models and props that they created for the film as reference for the stuff that we needed to create in our game.
Oriented character. Gimli's a small battle tank.
This is like beta sound effects and stuff like that, because like in the game it does sound a little bit different. Oh, okay. I want to find the part where they're talking to each other, because like the game development stuff is cool, but it's not that relevant. Vic, how are you going? How are you today, Vic? How's your weekend been, my friend? How are you? How are you doing? Hopefully you don't have too much, hopefully you're just chilling, just enjoying yourself. But how are you doing, Vic? How are you doing? Thank you for the redeem. Okay, there are some interviews here where they're like talking between the different actors, and there's one where they're talking about how like who's better at the game or something like that. That's the one that I want to get to. Hold on. There's more about the Fellowship.
I really enjoyed making the game because you don't have to do so much darn hard work as you do when you're originally creating the character.
Based. Okay, he's okay. Like, look at that grip, guys. Yeah, okay. Look at that grip. Is Gimli a real gamer to you? What do you think? What do you think, guys? I'm doing fine. Just awake in the middle of the night. What time is it for you, Vic? Wait, you're from memory. You're from the Philippines, right? So it should be something along the lines of like 11, 11:20, 11:30, something along those lines. But yeah, 11:20 exactly. Okay, so I did get it right. Whew. Damn, Gimli looks so different. Well, that's what the makeup crew is there, Alki. That's why the makeup crew gets paid, right? It looks like he tries to be, says JP. Well, I mean, yeah, maybe he at least tries. But hopefully, you don't mess up your sleep schedule, Vic. But no, I'm glad to hear you're just chilling at the moment. You're just chilling.
Wonderful thing about the computer game is, of course, I don't have to get into makeup.
But he does look very different, right?
You stand in the studio and you say, well, I think you ought to say this and this and this, and they've got a pile of scripts, and you say all these wonderful lines.
Ambush! Ambush!
And then they take all that.
I love his voice. I love Gimli's voice. So good.
The credit.
John Rhys Davies.
Devices must be destroyed.
I love this model of me as Gimli. I think he's such a vigorous, virile, attractive character. He's really the only person you want to play. I mean, the rest, the Aragorns, the Legolases, handsome, good-looking guys and all that thing. But for real quality warfare, you have to go for a Gimli.
Based! Yo! That's hype. He's into it.
We spent 14 months in the most beautiful locations in the world in New Zealand to get the right look for the film. The game is a wartime combat situation, and it's wonderfully and brilliantly created.
I can't leave him there.
What a time-consuming thing it's going to be. I mean, it's a new addiction that I have discovered. So, gamesters,
I wonder.
Well done. Congratulations.
Okay, hold on. Let's look for some others. Fang on Forest. I'm not that interested in that. I mean, it's pretty cool. But I just want where they're like bantering with each other. Like who's the better gamer? That's what I want to watch, and then I'm happy to like leave it at that.
Get to Boromir now.
Oh, Orlando Bloom.
For a film, you're obviously watching the screen, seeing the action play in front of you as you played it on the day when you're laying the track down, and it's fun.
Damn, from memory, like Legolas was so freaking overpowered in the game. Just his ability, like his light attacks came out really, really fast because he's using like those twin long knives or whatever. From memory, Legolas was so fucking strong. And then you had Faramir as an unlockable character, and it's like a poor man's Legolas. Poor man's Legolas. It was so sad. Where's the one where they talk about the... These are just the locations.
Of the video game.
Hold on. Okay, Viggo Mortensen. Oh, did I miss it? Maybe I did. Maybe I did. All elves are OP in Lord of the Rings. Well, it's kind of inferred. It's kind of actually inferred, Kenjo, because like the elves, they live long lives. So the idea is that they're supposed to be like the best combat trained and everything. And so they are literally like the strongest race in the world. The strongest race like in the games and stuff like that. Not necessarily in the world. If we're talking about pitting them against like elephants and all of that, well, maybe not. Oh, you know what I mean, of like the sentient races, right? Fellowship. I don't know. Maybe I've missed it. Yeah, there's Gimli talking. That's Fangorn Forest. That's Legolas. And I've watched all of that. This is just concept art. Maybe I've missed it. Or maybe what they're talking about it is in the Return of the King. Anyway, like even though on even though on a conscious level, I understand that this, movie tie-in was basically just a cash in, just from personal memories and things like that. I really enjoyed it. I think that, there's a lot in the game that I enjoy, and a lot of it actually just comes down to small touches like that, where you have like the actors and all of that. They come in, they talk the lines, they add a little bit of behind the scenes stuff, because it's not just the game, right? They also add some extra context to like filming the movies and stuff like that. So I actually found that a lot of fun. But okay, we're probably gonna finish up pretty soon, because actually it's getting pretty late on my end, guys. It's getting pretty late on my end. It's like almost 1:30. So we'll be rating someone in just a moment. But I do know that we have a couple of people in chat. I think like Vic and Alki. You guys missed the skit that I played earlier, and me, well, when I make one of my cringy little skits, I want everybody to see it. I love playing them over and over and over. So I'm gonna play the skit, and then we're gonna go ahead and finish the stream a little after. So just give me a second, and we'll get right into it. I struggle to understand the appeal of Lord of the Rings. It's totally overrated. I watched it last weekend, and it was this generic fantasy with dumb plot holes and... What do you mean? Of course it's gonna come off as kinda generic, because it's the definitive fantasy that all others are built on. I'd even say that... Oh my god, is that J.R.R. Tolkien himself? I'm gonna give this hack a piece of my mind. Mr. Tolkien, it's really cool to meet you, but I have a question. Why didn't the hobbits just fly on the eagles to Mordor? I don't want to be a douche and bother you, but... Oh my word, like you're doing now? Huh? Mr. Tolkien, please, Huh? Oh, shut up. What a rude guy.
And I actually have here a letter written to me by a fellow who's very, very fond of the Lord of the Rings, and he asked me in the letter why they didn't just fly the eagles into Mordor, and I told him I get this same question. The people run into me at the pub and ask why didn't they just fly the eagles to Mordor? It would have made the quest a whole lot easier. And I told him the same thing that I'm telling you right now. Shut up.
Yes. Next time he tries to steal chocolate bars or whatever. Hold on, let me put this back. Okay. Nah. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed the little skit and all of that thing, because it's like, I don't know, the George R. Martin thing is a little fun, but when he said like next he tries to steal chocolate bars or whatever it is, you know what, JP, you know what? He will do absolutely anything not to release the next book. He'll do absolutely everything, you know, not to release The Winds of Winter. So a Song of Ice and Fire fans might understand that too. But we're gonna hop off for the time being, and we're actually gonna raid. Oh, right. We're gonna raid Woozle. Woozle is a ferret. He's like a circus. He's like a ringmaster ferret, and he's a very funny and wacky VTuber. I like him a lot. He's very based, and he's currently playing Stalker, Call of Pripyat. So you know, please go and say hello and maybe give him a follow. He's very entertaining. He's very cool, very based. I like him a lot. You alluded to the meme. I met X and X in that store. I'm glad you got it. JP. That's also what I did. Yes. That's one of the reasons why I really enjoyed it. I was able to meld in, right? I was able to meld in that. But yes. I made like the George R. Martin reference, and then I also went ahead and then I made the you met so-and-so at the store, right? And that's a copy pasta. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's a pretty funny copy pasta. And yeah, I did make it as part of the skit. And but yeah, I want to thank you guys for coming along, whether you were here for just a moment or whether you were here for the whole stream. You know, whether you were, you know, spamming in chat or just lurking, I really appreciate your presence. So from Toru to you, thank you. Take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you next time. I don't know when my next stream is going to be, by the way. I don't know when my next stream is going to be. Maybe tomorrow, maybe on Monday, but I do want to keep streaming regularly again. So, you know, similar time, maybe a bit earlier than the time today, because it was a little bit late today. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for coming along. I really appreciate your company, and take care, and see you next time.